No, the chord would work, but the 6/4 inversion is not a conventional 6/4, it's not a passing 6/4, and it's not a pedal 6/4. So it makes the chord appear.
So you're saying that
Yeah,
it's
we
not
did it.
something.
It just makes it sound wrong because we hear a 6/4, like a 1/6/4. We really hear that as a 5 with 2 non-chord tones that pull down. So it makes that chord very tricky to use. So you don't want to have your bass leap to a 6/4. You do it as a pedal 6/4, passing 6/4, or as a potential 6/4. Those sound great. If you just leap to something with the 6/4, it won't. Stevens, question?
You just said the 1/6/4 is great because it sounds like a chord.
No, I said we
And
hear
the
it.
top two notes want to pull down.
We hear the 1/6/4 as actually a dominant chord, 2 non-chord tones pull down like that. So it's this paradoxical chord.
So then would we want the C to go to the B if we're in the key of C, or on 1/6/4,
Yeah.
and the G to go to D?
Yeah. No, wait, the G to go to the D. No, remember, when you see this,
I know that.
okay,
I got that
6, remember this ready?
Oh, I was just talking about 6 or 1/6.
Oh, wait, 1/6?
You know, you said 1/6, or did you say 1/6/4?
I said 1/6/4.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, yes.
I like Stevens because he was experimenting almost every chord with something chromatic. And this was one of those that he kind of didn't let it resolve correctly. Let me see if I can give you a good example of it. Oh, okay. He has a 5 of 5, and then that ends up going to a 7 diminished of 5. So with a 5 of 5, he changes a note chromatically to make it a 5 of 5, but then before he gets to the 5, he introduces a diminished chord that has that same accidental. So I said, in that case, it might be better if you just had a regular 2, just the minor supertonic, and then when it goes to this diminished, that's when that chromatic note should change. So you kind of had 2 different chromatic things in a row. And to me, I listened to it a few times and I thought, it might even be stronger if you just had 1. But like I say, I didn't mind a bit because it was experimenting on, and that's the purpose of this. And you can try whatever you want. You just want to listen to it over and over again until you kind of get used to it, and then say, well, did that sound like I wanted it to sound, or does it sound like there's a wrong note somewhere? But one of the mistakes he made, remember when you have a 7 diminished 7 or a dominant 7th, which way should the 7th resolve? Down. And what happens is the melody went like this, and so he harmonizes that as the 7th of, and then, so it should be, so in other words, when you see that it's an E flat and it goes up to F, and then you say, could I harmonize that with a 7 diminished 7? Once you see that the E flat is the 7th, you should go, well, I can't do that because the melody goes up, but that 7th should resolve down. And there is a spot, the chord sounds great, but then it's the next chord, it just doesn't sound right. And it's because the 7th is pushing upward instead of pulling down. But you're stuck with this melody. So on your poems, you could change them. You can say, well, I'll make it go down.
Yes, you do.
You're right. I can't wait.
Oh, here's another one. We tried a common tone diminish. I think I mentioned this. There's a common tone diminish, but then when it resolves, he has a change of mode on the next chord. So,
That's good.
good experiment. So here's a common tone diminish. But now if I make the tonic minor change of mode, then I have, it kind of lessens effect, because that was supposed to lead up to here, but when it becomes minor, it stays down there, and then you only have one note kind of moving. And like I say, I don't mind the experiment, but I'm hoping then he'll listen to it and say, okay, so the first chord was great, the second chord was great, just not from the first to the second. I mean, individually they would work. And there are a couple things here. There's a minor dominant, and I was wondering if this was just copying the notes wrong, forgetting to put an accident because it was a section in a minor key. I also put lots of daring chromaticism, very good. You know, that's a good thing. And to listen to the recording and see, did it work? Why? Did it not work? Why? Why not? And that's the main thing that we forget sometimes. Both textbooks from first and second year were all looking at what the great composers did by ear and telling us this is usually what they did. But they actually would write by ear. Sounded odd, but to waste, I would say put an accent above waste and really emphasize it. Put an accent in the piano. That was the minor dominant there that I thought didn't say. But he started at that, still I would not, was absolutely perfect. So if he probably just forgot to draw in the natural to make the dominant a major chord, otherwise it would. Funny there, like that rhythm.
Well, I don't know. It tickled me that he went on. I don't know why. Just that I thought it was over.
Right. So, and that's something to talk about because I've seen pieces that audience start to clap and it's not over, you know, but they make this, you know. Give him a hint or something. There's a famous guitar piece Tariega wrote. Oh, Lacrima. It does that. It's got this chord at the end. It's got this big heavy fermata over this happens. I swear, I say everybody's going to clap there. So I always tell the guitarist, you have to do something to show the audience it's not in. You have to go, and you have to physically get a look on your face, and you have to move the arm really slow so they see another chord's coming. Otherwise, they'll clap at that point and ruin everything because the next part's kind of soft. But I would have also said, yeah, it might have been better to instead of like that, to go more. So in other words, start the rhythm of it going maybe a little earlier. But that's somebody's opinion. I mean, somebody might like it. Somebody might say, I liked tricking the audience into thinking it was over or something like that. Do you see him to give him a CD? No? Okay.
I would like one though.
He'll be here for the final.
Yeah, he will be here for the final. He said.
He's going to miss one of his to take this one.
Right.
Tim, right here I wrote